Hello everyone, I hope that you are all doing well. This is me, Sayyid Shujatullah. We are now going to discuss about the MCQs of High Court. Those students who are watching me for the very first time, they know that we have been doing a very good civil services preparation strategy for the prelims. So if you want to be a part of free mentoring and guidance and also subject development classes of mine, you can join my Telegram group, which is going to definitely boost your confidence and also boost your marks and also improve your knowledge to a larger extent. Okay, let us go ahead. Fine. Oh my god, again this become like this. Many times it happens, I'll become ulta. So you have to go and you have to transform, flip vertical. See, there's always a way out. This shows that don't get panic when you are in a situation. So you can always find a solution, not an issue. Okay, let us go ahead. So if any of you want to be a part of my economic optional or law optional classes or any of these courses, ये नंबर पे कॉल कर देना, मैं बात करूंगा. Okay, fine. So this is my Telegram group, and very important and unique thing about my Telegram group is I generally don't dump data here. I have got lots of files on my laptop, but still I don't dump the data because here I'm not using the Telegram group for the purpose of sharing the PDFs, etc. It is purely a student development, student assessment group. Okay, here I will conduct a test, here I will announce the results, here I will give the test syllabus beforehand only, and the students will do accordingly. So the students who are following me very seriously, definitely they will have a upper hand in the examination, that is for sure. And those students who are already a part of my Telegram group, many of the students are not actually writing the test. That is not fair. You have to do it. You have to do it. Okay. Yes. The first question, let us see. Consider the following statements. Yes. Article 214 of the Constitution provides for the establishment of High Court. This is a very right statement. Okay. So the Constitution of India says that there should be a High Court for the states. There should be High Court for the states. So first statement is very right. Yes. Second statement, Parliament is empowered to establish a common high court. First of all, you should know whether the Parliament is empowered to establish a Supreme Court or whether it is a president, whether it is Prime Minister or executive. You should know this about. Okay, so this is the first half of the statement is very right. Parliament is empowered to establish the High Court. Very right. Is it empowered to establish a common high court for two states only? The answer here is wrong because Article 231 of the Constitution says that Parliament can establish a common high court for not only two states, for more than two states also. Means in our state, like we are having High Court of Hyderabad is there. It serves as a common high court for both Telangana and AP. Means if AP related cases are there, the highest court for the AP state is to appeal in High Court of Hyderabad. If Telangana cases are there, civil or criminal, if they wanted to appeal in the highest court of the state, means it is Hyderabad only. For both the state, Hyderabad. And if they don't like, they can go to Supreme Court, that is another matter. But the highest court of appeal for these two states is High Court of Common High Court of Hyderabad. In the same way, Haryana, Punjab and Haryana has also got a common high court. In the same way, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh has also got a common high court, which is in Jammu and Kashmir. Means Ladakh related civil and criminal cases, the highest court of appeal is Jammu and Kashmir court, and for Jammu and Kashmir is also Jammu and Kashmir court. Okay, then they can go to Supreme Court. Is it the same arrangement the Parliament have to follow? No. Parliament can establish a common high court for three states also, like for Telangana, AP, Maharashtra also. Okay, and one state, one union territory also possible. One state and one union territory also is allowed. Is allowed. So the one state and two union territories is also allowed. So the combination is allowed. The combination is allowed. The constitution has not restricted for combination of state that you are choosing to have a common high court. Okay, constitution has not restricted. It is up to the wisdom, up to the necessities of the country, financial viability of the country, and whatever the wisdom of the parliamentarians is there, it is left to them. It is left to them. They can have one court for one state, or one high court for two states, one high court for four states, one high court for a state and union territory, a one high court for a state and two union territories, two states and two union territories. That is not at all an issue. The combination is not given. The combination is have to be made by parliament. So which article says that? 231, very important for lower grade examination. ये पूछता एग्जाम में. Okay, the common high court could be established under which article? Article 231. So he's saying that only means wrong. The appointment of high court judges is done by governor. Absolutely wrong. This is also wrong, and it is done by what? President. It is done by president. So we have got second wrong, third wrong. So only one is correct. Okay, only one is correct. So what is the question? Find the incorrect. Okay, so 2 and 3 are incorrect. So 2 and 3 are incorrect. The answer is C. The answer is C. Please remember this point. Again, do remember this, that Chief Justice of High Court and Judges of High Court. Chief Justice is nothing but Chief Judge. Of all the judges, okay, he is the Chief Judge, like that. So Chief Justice of High Court, other judges of High Court. Okay. And Chief Justice of India, nothing but Supreme Court, and judges of other judges of Supreme Court. These four category of constitutional positions, the four category of constitutional dignitaries, all of them are appointed by the president. There is no role of governor. There is no role of governor. Remember this point. All of them are appointed by the president only. These four categories: Chief Justice of High Court, Judges of High Court, Chief Justice of India, Judges of Supreme Court. All of them are appointed by the president. So whenever you talk appointment related governor comes, means absolutely no, wrong. Fine. So answer we have done. Consider the following statements. Before going into the discussion, I just wanted to tell you this particular concept. So you know that High Court is there? Yes sir, High Court is there. Supreme Court is there? Yes sir, Supreme Court is there. High Court will have a Chief Justice of High Court? Yes sir. High Court will also, Supreme Court will have a Chief Justice of India? Yes. Then apart from High Court, there are permanent judges are there. Permanent judges are those judges which are appointed by the president on the basis of their qualification, okay, or seniority. In the same way here also permanent judges are there. Nothing but these two category constitute strength of Supreme Court and High Court or not? Yes. Means number of judges which are actually really appointed by the president. Okay, and these judges will only make the strength of Supreme Court and High Court. Let's suppose Chief Justice of India went to vacation for 15 days. Chief Justice of High Court went to vacation for 15 days. Or Chief Justice of High Court was ill. Chief Justice of Supreme Court is also ill. So in these cases, somebody should be acting as a Chief Justice or not. Right. So the Constitution has made this provision also. So apart from this category of judges, acting Chief Justice category is also there. Okay. Not only that, if number of cases are continuously increasing both in High Court and Supreme Court, then Constitution has also given us some other category of judges. What are those? Ad hoc judges, additional judges, and you are having retired judges. And you are having what? Retired judges. So this three category and acting Chief Justice category is also mentioned in our Constitution. Okay. So what are the other judges? Other judges could be acting Chief Justice, ad hoc judges, additional, retired. Okay. So this small overview you have understood. Now you see, for High Court, apart from their Chief Justice of High Court and permanent judges, you are having additional judges are there, retired judges are there, and acting Chief Justice of High Court. For Supreme Court, instead of additional, you are having ad hoc. This is the difference. And retired judges are common here also. And acting Chief Justice is also common, because if Chief Justice of India is not there, somebody should act, no? That's why. So you have to remember here, apart from permanent judges, High Court has acting Chief Justice and ad hoc judges similar to SC. Right or wrong? Means wrong, because acting CJ is there here also, here also. Right or wrong? Yes. Acting Chief Justice is there here also, here also. But ad hoc judges are there only in Supreme Court, but not in High Court. But not in High Court. But here it is saying that High Court will have acting Chief Justice and ad hoc judges similar to Supreme Court. Means wrong. It's not similar. High Court will not have ad hoc. High Court will not have ad hoc. Remember this point. Now, again, another important point here is the tenure of judges other than the permanent judges. Means Chief Justice and permanent judges, apart from them, these categories there, no? What is their tenure? What is their tenure? The statement said that it is not fixed for both Supreme Court and High Court. But this is wrong. It is fixed for High Court. Okay. The tenure of these judges is fixed for High Court. But tenure of Supreme Court judges is not fixed. Not fixed. Okay. It means you can understand, when something is not fixed, they can be easily removed by the pressure of president or not. Yes. So, with respect to the, consider the following statement with respect to the removal of judges. Removal of judges. The Chief Justice and permanent judges are not removed by the president on its pleasure. Whereas other judges like acting Chief Justice, ad hoc judges, retired judges could be removed by the president on its pleasure. Right or wrong? Means yes, right. Okay. Chief Justices of High Court or Supreme Court, or judges of High Court or Supreme Court, for removal of them, a proper procedure is there. Okay. 100 people from Lok Sabha, 50 people from Rajya Sabha, it should be addressed to the president, given to the speaker, inquiry committee will be there, then the charges will be investigated, and at the end, if he is proved on the grounds of misbehavior and incapacity, so a proper procedure is there. Okay, but here there is no proper procedure is there. Supreme Court, whatever the other judges are there, no, here this procedure is not followed. Not followed. Directly on the president pleasure, they can be appointed and they can be removed. They can be appointed, they can be removed. Okay. And for High Court judges, the tenure is fixed, like 2 years, not more than 2 or 3 years. These judges could be appointed. These judges could be appointed. Here, when these judges are appointed, for how many years they will be appointed, there won't be any say on it. There won't be any say on it. But here, a fixed term is there. Here, a fixed term, 2-3 years fixed term is there. I hope you got this. Okay, so we are having find the correct statement. Both are incorrect. Neither one nor two. Both are incorrect statement. Neither one nor two are correct. Means incorrect only. Here you have to mention incorrect, and answer you have to change it to D. Answer you have to change it to D. So remember this point. So why this is incorrect? Because fixed, the tenure is fixed for High Court. Other judges tenure is fixed for High Court, but other judges tenure is not fixed for judges of Supreme Court. Remember this point. Consider the following statements about the appointment of judges of High Court. Appointment of judges of High Court. Appointment process of judges of High Court is called as participatory consultative process. Very, very right. Okay. Whereas the process for the appointment of Supreme Court judges is what? Supreme Court judges is collegium system. Collegium system. For High Court, this process is called as participatory consultative process. Sorry. Participatory consultative process. Remember this point. That's why the first one is correct. And High Court judges are appointed, the participatory consultative, who are the participant? See, Chief Justice of India, Governor of concerned state, and Chief Justice of High Court. Very, very important. Again, you see a purely non-political appointments, non-political selection process. No CM is involved, no PM is involved. Even for the High Court judges, PM is not involved. Okay, so that's why it is a purely a judicial process, purely a constitutional functionaries process, but apolitical. It is a political process. So this is also right. No appointment of High Court judge could take place if it is not in conformity with the appointment of, or whether not in conformity with the opinion of Chief Justice of India. Very, very right. If Mr. On have to be appointed as a High Court judge, okay, Chief Justice of India said, I am not happy with him. Governor says okay. Chief Justice of High Court also says okay. But still, Chief Justice of India is not happy. Okay, then he can never be appointed. Okay, he can never be appointed. Remember this point. So no appointment of High Court judge could take place if it is not in conformity with the opinion of Chief Justice of India. Right statement. That's why answer is D. All the above. All the above. Take care. Consider the following statements about the appointment of judges of High Court. Okay. See here, appointment should not come, so you just have to listen to this. Consider the following statement. This only you understand. Don't study this one. Consider the following statement. Okay, just wait for a second. So I will do this for your convenience. That is fine. When we are having the sources, why shouldn't we enjoy that one, right? Consider the following statements. Salaries of judges of High Court and other judges is same. Other judges. No, not possible. Okay, I'll come to this. We are having a tabular form. Just you remember the salaries of High Court, Chief Justice of High Court and other judges will not be same. Of course, Chief Justice means he will have more salary and other judges will have less salary. Common sense. Okay. Salaries of Chief Justice of High Court and other judges in the High Court is same. No. Incorrect. Very good. It means right statement. Incorrect statement. It is an incorrect statement. So one is gone. One is gone. Salary, allowances, conditions of service of High Court judges is determined by the High Court determined by the Parliament. Very, very right. High Court is there? No. Maybe state government will decide their salaries, allowances. No, 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 not like that. Okay. Anything with regard to judges of High Court or Chief Justice of High Court, judges of Supreme Court or Chief Justice of Supreme Court, all is done by Parliament. All is done by Parliament. So any how much salary they have to, what allowances they will get, what is the conditions of service of High Court judges, they are all determined by what? Parliament only. So correct. No change with respect to allowances salary to the disadvantage of High Court could be made by the Parliament. That is also correct. Once I am appointed as a judge of High Court and I was in my appointment letter, I have given a salary of 1 lakh. But Parliament has amended Judges Inquiry Act. Okay, and Parliament has amended Schedule 2. Schedule 2 deals with salaries. Parliament has amended and decreased the salary to 90,000. Decrease the salary to 90,000. So I was given 1 lakh rupees salary appointment letter, but it is now reduced to 90,000. Is it possible? Can it happen? No. When one time, whenever I am appointed as a judge of High Court or Supreme Court, when they are given me, this is your allowances, these are your salary, that cannot be decreased to my disadvantage. But increase could happen. 1 lakh can become 2 lakhs. That I will accept. But less than that should not be done. That is also given in the Constitution. Okay. So this is right and this is also right. So second one is correct, third one is correct. So answer is find the incorrect statement. Only one is incorrect because the Chief Justice of High Court salary and other judges in the High Court will not be same. What are the qualifications required for the appointment of High Court judge? So should be holding Indian citizenship, right? 10 years of working in judicial office, right? 10 years of advocate experience in one or more courts in succession, that is also right. So I worked in High Court of Hyderabad for 3 years, 2 years I worked in Delhi High Court for 3 years, I worked in Uttarakhand High Court for 5 years. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is this okay? Yes. So I can work in any number of courts, but the duration should be 10 years. One or more court I can practice, but minimum duration is 10 years. Okay, 10 years of working in judicial office. So you are appointed as a court master, you are appointed as a any other functionaries in the court. So then also you can be appointed as a judge of high court. Okay, this is a very common one. So all of them are right, all the above, all the above. Remember one this point here. When it comes to Supreme Court, no, there is another. Supreme Court judges also have got some important like citizenship should be there. Okay, and 5 years they should work as a high court judge. And one more is a distinguished jurist. Distinguished jurist. This distinguished jurist category is not there in high court. High court only you this provision is there. This provision is there. Distinguished juries cannot be appointed as a judge of high court. Remember this point forever. That's why I have written. So this is statement 3 is right. Anyhow, no distinguished jurist provision in High Court, but it is there in Supreme Court. Okay, in Supreme Court, a distinguished jurist could be appointed as the judge of Supreme Court, but in High Court, such distinguished jurist provision itself is not there. Itself is not there. Find the correct pair. All are right. All are factual and the right statements. Okay. Removal procedure of High Court judge is mentioned in Article 218. Salaries allowances cannot be varied to their disadvantage. Okay, just now we have learned salaries cannot be decreased but could be increased. So where it is mentioned in Article 221. National Judicial Appointment Commission article is mentioned in Article. This particular commission came into the constitution by amending the Article 124 and we got 124A. Okay, all are right. The answer is D. Answer is D. Okay. Consider the following statements about the independence of judges of High Court. Independence means once they are appointed, whatever the freedom that they have given to them by the Constitution, that is called as independence. That is called as independence. Means they can discharge their roles, duties and responsibilities without any interference. So how many such provisions were given? How many such provisions were given to them to work unbiasedly, to work impartially and to work under no pressure of any political executives? Okay, first one is the removal procedure is not so simple. Okay, it will be in the public domain. Parliament is talking about it, so everyone will talk about that particular judge. So it's not that easy to remove a judge by having a personal grudge or by keeping in your heart that he has given a wrong judgment against the ruling party like that. So to make him to make him free from all this, the removal procedure is made very strict. Okay, so he cannot be removed on the pleasure of president, just like Supreme Court judge. Even for Supreme Court judge or High Court judge, Chief Justice of India or Chief Justice of High Court, the removal procedure is same. Okay, but other judges, additional, ad hoc, retired, for them this procedure is not there. Only for permanent judges and the Chief Justices. Salaries and allowances are charged on Consolidated Fund of India. This is wrong. As you know that we are talking about judges of High Court. Judges of High Court. They are removed. They cannot be removed on the president pleasure. That is very right. Just like Supreme Court also, they cannot also be removed on the pleasure of president. This is also right. Here, salaries and allowances are charged on Consolidated Fund of India. This is wrong. This is for Supreme Court judges and Chief Justice. Okay, we are talking about High Court now. With regard to salaries, allowances of High Court judges and Chief Justice of High Court, all their expenditures will be charged on Consolidated Fund of that state. Okay, Telangana is there. We are having a Hyderabad High Court. So whatever in Hyderabad High Court, the judges will be there, Chief Justice of High Court will be there. Their salaries, their allowances, all will be given from Telangana Treasury. Given from Telangana Treasury means in our budget only we will give them. Okay. Whereas Supreme Court means Government of India will give. Charge on the Consolidated Fund of India. Okay. Now you can see that now Hyderabad Common High Court. This High Court of Telangana is a Common High Court. So it is common for Telangana and AP. In this case, the expenditure of this Common High Court of Hyderabad will be shaved by two states. If a Common High Court is there for two or more states, the salaries allowances of that Common High Court and the judges will be charged on the respective states. All states should contribute. Okay, it's fine. So this is a wrong statement because salaries and allowances of High Court judges are charged on consolidated fund of state, not on India. Wrong statement. This is right. High Court judge after his retirement shall not plead or act in any court of India, even in higher court. So this is wrong. This is wrong. Okay, High Court judge, if he is retired, okay, he can just practice the advocate or lawyer, whatever it is there in the Supreme Court. In higher court, he can do that. But a Supreme Court judge, when he is retired, he cannot do anything in the total country. Supreme Court judge or Chief Justice, once he is retired, he cannot plead or he cannot appear in any, or he cannot fight any court, any case in any court of the country. Whereas High Court judge, once he is retired, there is only, he cannot practice in the same state. Remember this point. Either he can do the practice in higher court or he can do the practice in other high court, but not the same. Very, very important. Remember this point. So this is again wrong. Because normally I have written he can plead in higher court, Supreme Court, but he can plead in other high courts also, but not the same high court. Okay, so find the incorrect. This is incorrect. And this is incorrect. So 2 and 3 are incorrect. So answer for this is B. Answer for this is B. Now you see here. First one, let us see. Removal procedure of judges, High Court judges or Supreme Court judges. Before this, the process of initiating to remove a Supreme Court or High Court judge from Lok Sabha 100 members, from Rajya Sabha 50 members, then inquiry committee, then member, then voting, all that is there. No, that is not a original procedure of the Constitution. Original procedure of the Constitution, that is not. Before, what used to happen, let us see. Old method. The Constitution specifies the grounds only, means misbehavior and incapacity. Constitution did not define what is misbehavior and incapacity. Again, that is left to the parliamentarians. Okay, you please tell what is misbehavior and incapacity. But Constitution has mentioned the ground. Okay, ground and method for the removal of judge, of the High Court or Supreme Court judge. Okay, so what is the method? Okay, ground means ground means misbehavior, incapacity. Ground means misbehavior in incapacity. This is again not defined, but it is mentioned, specifies. Constitution mentions it. Constitution specifies that a judge of High Court or Supreme Court can be removed on these 2 grounds, right? Okay. So what is the method? The method is a judge shall be removed, whether it is a Supreme Court or High Court judge shall be removed only by order of President, because he only appoints, he has to only remove him. So President has to sign. But after presentation of address by each house of the parliament, see, means that his charges to be discussed in both the houses, not only in Lok Sabha, both the houses, and supported by special majority. Again, a independence criteria, supported by special majority. Okay, again here also he will be independent. Means Lok Sabha, if a party is having, just like BJP party is having 300 plus out of 545. So it can easily remove. A Supreme Court or High Court judge by making any allegations against them. But the process is made between 2 houses, both the houses, Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha, it's not possible. It is a house where all the states are represented, so they will properly grill the matter. Okay. So again, independence is there here also, criteria. Fine. He should be removed only by the President, and that removal procedure have to be discussed in both the houses of parliament and special majority. Another very, very important, in the same session. This is the old method. Okay. On the grounds we know. But the Constitution also empowers Parliament to make law to regulate the procedure. Means how to do the procedure. Means who should write the removal charges, who should frame the charges, to whom it is addressed, how many days will be given to the Supreme Court or High Court judge to defend himself. So the procedure could be regulated by Parliament, but these things should be there for sure. ये जो 4 है ना, ये 4 तो होना ही चाहिए. This should be there. Okay, so Parliament can regulate the procedure for the presentation to the President. Till 1968. till 1968, Parliament did not enact any law regarding this. Means how to remove the Supreme Court and High Court. Just what is the method? No method was there. Before that, during this time, the procedure was very simple. Removal of judges of higher judiciaries involve MPs. Total political was there. MPs will write to the speaker that so and so judge we don't want, he is not good, his misbehavior is there, misconduct is there, etc. So MPs will give to speaker. Okay, speaker will discuss the matter with all parliamentarians and examine the material. Okay, whether the charges given by the MPs are right or wrong. Okay, that will be examined. Okay, and if any such case was there, that issue will be brought. Okay, if any charges were there, it will be brought to the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. If the judge is related to Supreme Court, Chief Justice of High Court, if the judge is related to High Court. So they will also be taken into consideration. The issue will be brought before them also. And whenever all this process happen, no, speaker will maintain the secrecy. Speaker will maintain the secrecy. Speaker will not make it public. No, I have talked to Chief Justice of Supreme Court. So we are deciding on the matter, etc. There is one judge, so and so, like that. So they make the process very secret. Secret process was there. Okay. So parliamentary record suggests that during this time, 3 such notices were brought before the speaker. Okay. Removal means MPs has given 3 notices during its till 1968. From 1947 to till 1968, the MPs of the parliament has given 3 notices to the speaker for the removal of 3 judges. Okay, during this period, 3 judges. But in any of these cases, the judges concerned voluntarily resigned. So before the matter was taken up, the judges themselves resigned. Means there is no impeachment, there is no removal happened. So that was the method. That was the method. So did you see total political? Total political. Okay. Now, how was the present method? 1964, a joint committee was appointed. Let us have a framework to remove the judges of Supreme Court and High Court and Chief Justices. Let us have a method. So 4-step process were given. The first step was numerical, as you all know. So 100 MPs from the Lok Sabha, 50 MPs from Rajya Sabha. This has to be there. Motion of removal should be initiated by this way. Okay. Remember this point here. You may be asked here a twisting question. Okay. To remove judge of Supreme Court or High Court, the following process is followed. Number 1, 100 Lok Sabha plus 50 members from Rajya Sabha. Okay. Then special majority. Third one, president removes. Okay, address in the parliament, special majority. So in these 3, which one is wrong? In these 3, which one is wrong? Many people may not be aware of this. This is wrong because it is plus here, not and. It should not come and. Either 100 members from Lok Sabha or 50 members from Rajya Sabha can initiate. So this is where you have to, as I explained, you have to be so minute details you have to look into. That's why 100 MPs from Lok Sabha or 50 MPs from Rajya Sabha. Or the second step is Lok Sabha Speaker, Rajya Sabha Chairman was granted discretionary power to admit or reject. Very, very important. After consulting legal expert. So Mr. On, the judge of High Court or Supreme Court. Okay, Mr. On, he was charged. He was charged by Lok Sabha on some proved misbehavior. Then speaker will take this matter to experts. Whether this can be considered as a pure misbehavior, can you tell me, my experts? Speaker will try to consult the legal experts whether the charges framed by this Lok Sabha, 100 people or 50 people from this, whether does they really amount to proved misbehavior or incapacity. And he studies the available material, whatever is there. In case the notice was accepted, the third step would require the constitution of a committee. Constitution of a committee, you know that. We have already discussed. So a committee of 3 members will be there, whether it should be Supreme Court judge or Chief Justice of India, a Chief Justice of High Court, distinguished jurist. So 3-member committee. We have already discussed in our last class. Okay. When this committee says yes, he is proved wrong, then that particular committee report will be voted in the parliament, and by 2/3 majority, special majority, if it is passed, present and voting, then the judges will stand removed. You know that. So this process, the fourth process, everything. So I have told you. 1964, actually, this is a bill. The process to remove the Supreme Court, High Court judges and Chief Justice, a bill was presented in 1964, but it dissolved. Okay, following the dissolution of Lok Sabha. Okay, because 5 years come again, this bill was put in the fourth Lok Sabha in 1968, and this bill was passed, and this is now the proper procedure for the removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges and Chief Justices. And a act was passed to the same to give the effect to these provisions. An act was passed. The act was called as is also called as Judges Inquiry Act of 1968. 1968. I hope you got it. Okay. With regard to pleading in higher authority, the third statement, some little bit information is there. यहाँ पे High Court judge after retirement, can he plead or not? Like that, no? High Court judge can plead, but not Supreme Court. Article 124 says, no person who has held the office as a judge of Supreme Court shall plead or act in any court or before any authority within the territory of India. Supreme Court judge or Chief Justice of India cannot plead in any courts of the country. Not even Andaman, not even Lakshadweep. Nowhere they can plead or they can appear before the court or they can fight for any case. Article 124 says. Article 220 bars High Court judges from pleading in authority in India except the Supreme Court and other High Court. Except the Supreme Court and other High Court. That's what I told you, that Mr. On, who is the judge of High Court, he retired in 65 years. Can he do practice? Yes, but not in Telangana. He have to go to what? Uttarakhand. He has to go to what? UP. Here he can practice, or he can practice in Supreme Court. Okay, so bar to practice is there for Supreme Court, but bar to practice of retired High Court judges is not there. But bar to practice in any other court is barred to the Supreme Court judges. Okay. Practices worldwide. In United States, no Supreme Court judge retires lifelong. Means they don't have a retirement age only with regard to Supreme Court judge. Okay. In United Kingdom, Supreme Court judge retire at the age of 70. Okay. And there is no law that stops the judges from taking post-retirement jobs. But no judge has taken such posts. That is a convention. Once they retire, they don't take any what I say is such posts. Just like our Rajan Gogoi is there. He was the Chief Justice of India. Okay, he retired. No, he cannot plead in any of the courts in the country. Okay, only the Constitution has restricted the retired judges of Supreme Court cannot plead in any other court, or they cannot file any case. They cannot fight for any case. But Chief Justice of India, Rajan Gogoi, was appointed as a Rajya Sabha MP. This is possible. They can be appointed as a governor. They can be appointed as the chairman of National Commission for ISC, National Commission for BC, etc. National Human Rights Commission. They can appoint for this post, but they cannot practice. Try to understand what I'm saying. They cannot practice in any other court in the country, but they could be given some post-retirement jobs by the government. Okay, in our country, this is there. But in UK, they generally retire at 70. And they don't take up any jobs. Even the UK Constitution, UK government did not bar them to not to hold any positions, but they don't do it. Okay. Then consider the following statement: the preamble of United Nations Charter and American Constitution and also Indian Constitution, it starts the same. We the people of India, we the people of America. This is very right. It's a factual one. Preamble of India declared part of Indian Constitution like America. Yes, American Constitution, they consider preamble as a part of their Constitution, and we also know that we are also having cases regard to this, whether Keshav Nanda, this Minerva Mill case, Golaknath case, many cases are there where you know that total process is there. Okay, preamble is declared as a part of our Indian Constitution, okay, by the Supreme Court. Preamble of America is enforceable like India's preamble to Constitution. No, whether it is preamble of India or it is a preamble we the people of India or it is a preamble of America, these are not enforceable. These these preambles generally help the judiciary, okay, to interpret the constitution, to find out the ideal nobles, okay, of the framers of the constitution, okay, to take the cognizance of these principles mentioned in the preamble in discharging justice. So it is not enforceable, but they will they act as a lightning conductor. They act as a lightning conductor to the judiciary with regard to justice, with regard to giving the justice. So 1 and 2 are, so here it should be like correct. This is right. This is also right. This is also right. Actually, it has to be incorrect. It has to be correct. Okay. It has to be correct. All the above are correct. Sorry. Is enforceable? No, no, not enforceable. So only 1 and 2 are correct. This is wrong. 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. So I have to mention this for sure. I have just missed here unlike word. So this is very, very important. My dear students, this is how the questions will be tested. Okay. Then again the actual question will again becomes right. Fine. So preamble of India declared part of the Indian Constitution, unlike America. Unlike America means, if it is like America means, there also preamble declared as a part of their constitution. We also declared preamble as a part of our constitution. If it is like, unlike means they did not declare preamble as a part of constitution, but we declared. But it is not. In America and India, the preamble is declared as a part of constitution. That's why this is wrong. This is wrong. Okay. Here preamble of America is enforceable, not enforceable. Whether it is India's preamble, because we have taken preamble from America. I am talking about America only. Okay, our preamble is taken from America. That's why I am talking from America only. Okay. So preamble of America is enforceable, and preamble of India, this is preamble of America is also not enforceable. Preamble of India is also not enforceable, and I told you that why it is useful. So incorrect is 2 and 3. Incorrect is what? 2 and 3. The last one we are having. Okay. Government of India, through a presidential order of 2019 issued under Article 71, ended special status granted to Kashmir, right? This amendment led to the creation of UT of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh to have a legislative assembly on patterns of Delhi and Puducherry. This is wrong. Why? Because you have to see that the Jammu and Kashmir bifurcation was done, and creation of UT of Jammu and Kashmir, UT of Ladakh, to have a legislative assembly. No, only UT of Jammu and Kashmir to have a legislative assembly. Ladakh will not have a legislative assembly. Here the Lieutenant Governor LG will be directly under the control of Home Minister, like President. Here the LG will have to act on the advice of the aid and advice of the assembly. So for both of them, legislative assembly is not created. So only one. Only one. Some information I have put here. The Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act was made in the year 2019. This is the first time in the history of India that a state is converted into 2 union territories. A state divided into 2 states is there. Okay. A state, and in within that state a union territory like Chandigarh is there. Okay. That was also declared. Okay. From the state a union territory also came out. From a state 2 states also came out. But a state divided to become 2 union territories, this is the first time happened. The total number of states in the country will now be 28. Actually, when Telangana was created in 2014, we all are 29. Okay, 29 states were there. In 2014, when Telangana, June 2nd is my Telangana formation day. So 29 states were there. Again, at the time Jammu and Kashmir was a state. To 2009, Jammu and Kashmir bifurcated into union territories. Okay, again we became 28. This particular act has ended the special status of Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370, and all the special provisions which are mentioned under Article 35A also gone. So we generally in India, Indian Penal Code was there in order for the crime related purpose. So Jammu and Kashmir used to follow Ranbir Penal Code. So this penal code will be ceased to exist and it will be replaced by our common Indian penal code. Means here Indian penal code is nothing but a book where extortion की what is the section, rape का क्या section है, murder का क्या section है, rape teasing का क्या section है, all these sections are properly mentioned in the IPC. Okay, ये applicable हो जाता. And this day, okay, the day on which the bifurcation happened is now the government celebrate it as National Unity Day. National Unity Day. Okay, the announcement of abrogation of state special status was made on August 5 in Rajya Sabha. August 5 in Rajya Sabha. The UT of Jammu and Kashmir will have a legislature of 107 members, just like Puducherry, while Ladakh will be a union territory without any legislature, just like Chandigarh. And both the UTs will have headed by two lieutenant governor, and in Ladakh directly administered, whereas the lieutenant governor have to act on aid and advice of Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Assembly. Jammu and Kashmir was the one state where bicameralism was there, means they are having a assembly and council. Okay, so when bifurcation happened, the council was abolished, and they were given what? There shall be council of ministers consisting of not more than 10% of the total members of Legislative Assembly. Ministers within the assembly, how many percentage of ministers could be possible? 10%. 10%. The High Court of Jammu and Kashmir will be the common court for Jammu and Kashmir, Union Territory and Ladakh. See, so two Union Territories, a common High Court could be formed. Two states, a common High Court could be formed. Just like Calcutta Court is there. Calcutta High Court is looking after Calcutta State and also the Andaman Nicobar. Okay. Now we are having Kerala High Court looks about Kerala and also about this Lakshadweep Union Territory. So one state, one Union Territory. Here also one state, one Union Territory. Here a common state for two Union Territory. A common states, common High Court for two states, just like Telangana and AP, Punjab and Haryana, like that. So any combination is possible. Parliament can do that. The center will have the direct control of police and law and order. So the central government is going to control the police and law and order of both the union territories, whereas land related matters will be left to the elected government. Jammu and Kashmir, a reorganization bill was passed in the year 2021 recently. All India services of Jammu and Kashmir category has been merged with Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, Mizoram Union Territory. Remember this point. So if when you are giving your mains UPSC, when you are filling the form, they will ask you which cadre you want, which cadre. So somebody will write South India cadre, Kerala cadre, Delhi cadre, like that they will write. So because Jammu and Kashmir special kind of IAS officers were there before now, the cadre that they belong is Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, Mizoram. So that cadre, Jammu and Kashmir IAS officers will be a part of it. This bill also amends Article 239A, which provides for the creation of local legislature or council of ministers, or both, for certain union territories to provide for legislative assembly for union territory. So, like Delhi is having their legislative assembly, Puducherry is having their legislative assembly. So, union territories to give them legislative assembly. In which article it is mentioned? Article 239. Okay, so whenever a union territory is given a legislature, one important thing here is they have to amend this article. When this article amends, only a union territory could have a legislative assembly. Okay, so thanks sir for watching to me. If you are having any doubts, please do ask me. Okay, thank you, and do practice well and work hard. Bye bye.